It's like a nightmare. It's like I interviewed someone from Botswana this week.
Wow.
I've never done that before.
No. Okay.
No.
So that's not a solution. Okay.
Yeah, it's there's no short term. I asked for people from down south, but everyone's the same. Everyone's the same. But there's a way. I'm just thinking slightly, but one of the educational things is that because we're using a portal to share information with clients back and forward, and it keeps a sort of an outstanding list for you and stuff like that. But what people are doing is they're just asking for stuff. They're not actually doing any, and they're just saying, the client's not come back. They're not actually, we've got remote access into their systems in some cases, but rather than pretending that we're at the client and doing the work, doing it remotely, they're just sitting like little birds in the nest, going, can you send me this, please? And meanwhile, all the time passes that they should have been working. And then it therefore creates a situation where you feel even more short of resource because that job still needs done. And you've used up all your time.
Do you know what precipitated that senior manager to come in and have that chat with you last night?
I invited her in.
Okay.
I invited her in because I wanted to tell her that we have agreed verbally to recruit another senior manager. Okay. So I was trying to give her sort of comforting news. But that then gave her the bravery to say something.
And just, can you almost verbatim tell me what she said?
Martin, I'm just going to say this. Recently I found it quite hard to approach you. Like sometimes it can take me a couple hours to give you a call. Other times it's fine. And I just thought you should know that. And then it came after I said something, she said, yeah, and I'm worried that maybe some of the junior managers are feeling that too. Yeah. Of course, I'm no daft. That's been the coffee chat that afternoon, which is, so that was the bits I remember of it. The conversation covered 3 or 4 things, Amy. So it was just,
how did you respond to it?
So I said, I think I said, right, well, look, first of all, thank you for saying that. I don't immediately recognize it. So she didn't give any, for me, she didn't give me any substance. So I didn't get something out of it to go, all right, I'll change that. No. So she didn't say, she didn't give me examples of behavior, shall we say, that and maybe having digested it, I can do, because anyway, that's what was said.
I think it would be very good to follow it up with an email.
Yeah. And
to say that you really respect the fact that she was able to raise this with you, because it can't have been easy for her. But what would really help is some specific examples of times when that behaviour has been, or the sorts, even if she can't give you specific examples of cases where it's happened, if she can give you examples, because I experience you as, I told you this last week because I just listened to our session. I experience you as angry and pissed off, and you are angry and pissed off, and you have every right to be angry and pissed off. But I just think it would be quite useful to know when you're landing like that with your staff. I wouldn't want to come into your office, and I really like you, but I wouldn't want to come into your office because I think I'd get a bollocking. And that, I think, that is part of, look, there's lots of things that are causing this. We've talked about this last week. There's communication problems, right? These people need to learn how to communicate. There are prioritization issues. Yeah. There are time management issues. there are lots of things that need to be fixed. But the one thing that you can fix, I think, is your pissed offness, probably.
Yeah, okay. So, to be clear, you would not get a bollocking.
No,
okay?
But I'd be afraid that I was going to get a bollocking.
But you're afraid you're going to get a bollocking, despite me never having number of bollockings in the last 10 years, 2.
I
3,
know, but it's... I know.
So what I might call out, so I'm not saying, I'm just trying to move what you're saying into what I believe to be the situation. I'm not.
That's okay.
As Barbara would say, deflecting from the situation. I'm trying to reposition it.
Yeah.
What I will do is I will call out things that are wrong or things that should have been done. Okay.
You're a bit, even when you do that, you're a bit scary.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm quite direct.
So your content could be entirely reasonable.
Yeah.
Could even be conciliatory, or even, could be even perhaps, quite kind, But I think your delivery, your style, I'm also a very direct person, as you know, but I think, I think you're it's more to do with how you make people feel than what you say. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Uh-huh.
So, in my business, it's called counter-transference. It's just a stupid word. It just means when you feel a certain way, how does it make me feel?
Right.
And even if you were to say to me, Amy, I think you're doing a really great job here. You're clearly addressing the issues in my life and so on. But even if you were to say that to me in your current state, I think my counter-transference would be that you were quite peeved. It's like when I came on the call this morning, I said, "How are you?" And you said, "Not good."
Yeah.
Not good. And not good for you is, look, these people are, taking the piss, basically. They're not respecting me. They're not respecting my time, my boundaries, the fact that I have a life, they're not respecting the fact that I have a diary which has things in it that need to be done. They're basically just treating me like a sort of, troubleshooter, fixer. So I get it, but I wonder if there's a way of just trying to just take the heat out of it a little bit for you.
I would agree with what you've said there. That I would agree with. I think I've been worn down to that point.
I know.
I think it's fair. I think that's fair. As I said, I appreciate that. As I say, I just wanted to sort of redefine bollocking, because it's not like, like that. It's not like that.
It doesn't need to be with you though,
No, I get that. And
you say it's quite interesting. I'm married. I've been married for 20 years, and my father was he's dead now, but he was a violent alcoholic, and he, if he was pissed and he was upset, he would come into a room like this and just pull everything off the shelves, break it. He would hit me. He would pull me around by my hair. That was his angry. My husband's dad, on the other hand, never raised his voice, never laid a hand on Will. But Will could tell just by the tone of his voice when he had done something wrong.
Yeah.
And so your bollockings are just a bit like Will's dad.
Okay. Yeah, I accept that.
People you're like an open book. People can kind of tell when they've done wrong.
Yeah. And so So I think that's all fair, and I think that